India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, we share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. Our program follows the life of foreigners in our country. This is true stories told by representatives of many nations living and developing in Kazakhstan, and for whom our country has become home. Diplomatic relations between Kazakhstan and India have been rapidly developing and growing stronger for many years. Our today's hero, NAQVI, was born in India. During his long-standing career, he visited many countries, working in various educational establishments all over the world. Eventually, he came to Kazakhstan, and it has been 5 years since he has been working as a professor of economics in the KAZakh University. Our hero was born in the city of Aligarh, which is situated on the west side of India in the state of Uttar Pradesh. NADEEM's parents and his many other relatives were professors and teachers. Thus, already during his childhood, he came in touch with the science and at the same time took a decision to pursue a career with it.
I was very pleasantly surprised when I arrived in Kazakhstan because the overall quality of students is extremely high here. And it's so easy to teach. And I know my students are going to shine. And KAZakh University is undoubtedly the best university in Central Asia. We get the cream of the crop. Why would I not be happy?
NADEEM, can you tell me please about your childhood?
I had a wonderful childhood. My grandfather, my mother's father, had a huge house with a lot of land, mango trees and so on. Grandfather was a teacher, he was a professor of English literature. Subsequently, we moved to Delhi and my father was a professor of economics, my mother was a lecturer of botany. We lived in Delhi and that is where I grew up. My school was Rosary School. So it was a Catholic school, Catholic missionary school, and some of the best schools in India are run by Catholic missionaries, private schools. So my parents sent me and my sister and my brother all to these Catholic schools. I have a younger sister who teaches at Delhi University, and she's an economist, she teaches economics, and a younger brother who did engineering, IIT's, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. And then he lives in Canada now. So I'm an American citizen, my younger brother is a Canadian citizen, and my sister is in Delhi with my mother. It was a very charmed childhood. I mean, my father was a professor of economics, director of Delhi School of Economics. So some very, very bright economists used to come by, and including some Nobel Prize winners. So they would come to our house after the seminar for cocktail and so on. And I, as a kid, used to serve them my mother's shami kebabs. Essentially, I was very fond of mathematics and physics, and I wanted to be a physicist. But then, my considerably older cousin came to Delhi, and he had done a PhD in astrophysics from Princeton University. And he couldn't find a job in India. There was no space program in India, so how would he find a job? But I thought, if I do physics and I'm going to end up like him, I don't want to do that. So I asked my father, what should I do? So he said that in economics, he did not know anybody with a master's from Delhi School of Economics who doesn't have a job. So I just jumped into economics. And I have enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoy economics.
How did you become American citizen?
After MA in economics from Delhi School of Economics, I went to do a PhD. In the United States. So once I did that, I finished in about 3 years' time, and I was all set to go back to Delhi because I missed my mother's cooking. But my PhD advisor got a request from some colleague of his at another university saying, do you have someone you can send to teach for 1 year? So he asked me if I would go to Michigan and teach there for 1 year. So I asked my mother, and she said, it'll give you some experience. So I did. Next thing you know, 26 years had gone by and I had become an American citizen. The first 3 years in the United States, I spent in Dallas, Texas. After that, after finishing PhD, I went and taught for 3 years in Michigan, after which I moved to the state of Georgia, and I taught there for 12 years. Then 1 year in Johannesburg, South Africa, which was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot about sub-Saharan Africa, Lesotho, Botswana, Namibia. Then 1 year I spent in teaching at North Carolina, after which I spent 7 years teaching in the state of Tennessee. So in 2007 I left and I came to the American University in Bulgaria. So it was just like teaching at an American university, not located in the United States, just located somewhere else. But as I lived there, I started enjoying myself. Also, at that university, I met Katya, who had finished her PhD in the United States, and she was teaching political science. And then I didn't know at the time that she would become my wife. Actually, we had moved to Germany, and we were trying to get married in Germany. But somehow, the German people who were dealing with the issue did not really understand my birth certificate. Now, it was good enough for the FBI, okay, because I got my green card on the basis of that and US citizenship, but in Germany it wasn't. So this marriage counselor said, look, you are an American citizen. Why don't you go to Las Vegas and get married? So then in 2012, Katya and I just in Easter break went to Las Vegas and we got married.
A huge work experience and traveling finally consolidated NADEEM's thirst for exploration, and when a job offer to work in Kazakhstan was made, our hero, who had never been in Asia before, accepted it without delay. Professor NAQVI, how and when was the first time when you arrived to Kazakhstan?
I had a colleague at the American University in Bulgaria who moved to Kiev. And then by that time, I had gone to Germany and I was teaching there. So I get a phone call from Gerald saying, we are looking for a full professor in economics. Are you interested? Then I said, sure, yeah, I'm willing to try. So 2013, January, I came. Well, what had happened was that at the American University in Bulgaria, to which I had moved after 26 years in the United States, there were students from 26 different countries, including Russia, Ukraine, Moldova, Albania, and also Kazakhstan. So I actually met the first Kazakh person in Blagoevgrad, Bulgaria. And they were very warm people. In fact, 2 of the Kazakh students of mine stayed with me in my apartment during the first Christmas that I was there, because I was there all alone, lonely, so were they. So we said, let's get together. Some very, very warm people. Now some of them have graduated and returned to Almaty.
How did it happen that you and your wife are living in 2 different countries?
My wife had come here, but she went to Germany to teach. She teaches political science, so she went to Germany to teach at her university. But she was pregnant with her second child. So her gynecologist said, you cannot go back to Almaty, you can't travel in an airplane. So a baby daughter is with me in Almaty, and my wife is in Germany, and they are both crying. Mama wants the baby wants the mama. And so I had to go on emergency leave to take a daughter back to her mother in Germany. So my wife is teaching there, and so she cannot really come to Kazakhstan and do nothing. At this point, she is professionally engaged there, she's working full-time, I'm working over here, but I travel a hell of a lot. I travel quite a bit between here and there. Anytime I have a few days off, I just go.
Can you tell me about your work a little bit, about your professor staff, about your students?
Dr. Bang is the one who set up the KEMEP University, and this is our 25th anniversary. So it was in the early 90s, and at that time President Nazarbayev authorized the setting up of American-style university, and so it has come of age. Now we have produced a generation of students who are themselves contributing professional members of society in Kazakhstan and so on. My colleagues are excellent, very professional, very professional. We also have a certain percentage of foreigners, some of them Americans, some from Britain, we had people from Australia, Italy, Germany, and so on. So it's a very healthy, very diverse faculty community, and we get along. We don't have conflicts. KEMEP University also has foreign accreditation. We have Austrian accreditation, so our degree is respected and acknowledged outside the country, not only within the country.
Considering your vast experience in teaching, can you compare the students in Kazakhstan and in USA?
In the United States, in an introduction to economics class, if I were to ask how many students have had calculus in high school, differential calculus, do they know derivatives and so on, okay? I would be surprised if 1/3 or 1/4 of them were to say, I have had it. Here it's 100%. So the training at the high school level is so good that by the time they come to the university, I have students who are very good at mathematics. Now, economics uses a fair amount of mathematics, so it's much easier to teach. I can immediately use concepts from mathematics and they immediately catch on. So the students are very well trained. Now, like students everywhere, some of them are not. Sometimes you have to haul them up and say, hey, don't be so lazy. But by and large, the quality of students, the overall quality of students that we get at KEMEP is extremely high. When the students graduate, something like 90% of them end up getting jobs almost immediately. It's excellent, excellent students.
Our hero is so absorbed in his work that he does not have much spare time. However, as soon as he gets free time, NADEEM always uses it for visiting his family in Germany and in India. NADEEM, what would you like to say to the viewers of our program?
I have only positive experiences. I think Kazakhstan has a very bright future. It is not only is well endowed with natural resources. I think the people of Kazakhstan themselves are a powerful resource. 2017 is going to be a much better year for Kazakhstan, for the Kazakh economy and society than 2016. And there are very wonderful, beautiful times ahead.
What are your plans for the nearest future?
I don't really make plans, Rohan. Things just happen. I didn't know I would come to Kazakhstan, and I did. Before that, I didn't know I'd go to Bulgaria, and I did. I'm obviously very happy here in Kazakhstan, in Almaty at KEMEP University. That's why this is the beginning of my 5th year. But it is still the case that my wife and 2 small children, who are 4 and 3 years old, are in Germany. So, and there is an opening in public administration at KEMEP University for which she has applied. So if that comes to pass, then we will be unified as a family, and my children can learn Russian and Kazakh both.
Our life is full of surprises and discoveries. NADEEM NAQVI discovered for himself Kazakhstan and took a decision to cast in his lot with this country so that he would be able to share his long-standing experience with the students of the KIMAP University. Having graduated a great number of students, our hero is proud that he could contribute to the development of our country, which became like a second home for him.